My name is Karim Aïnouz. I'm a filmmaker of Brazilian Algerian ascent, and I'm here in Zurich to present my latest film called The Invisible Life.
Eu sinto que o EURÍDICE me ama pra sempre. Eu vou convencer o papai, se você me ajudar, a você fazer esse teste aí de admissão para esse conservatório.
It's a family saga. It takes place in the 1950s in Rio, and it's the story of two sisters who were very, very close, and who were separated by her parents.
Escrevo a bordo do Liberty, partindo para a Grécia.
Taca isso! O EURÍDICE.
Dá um neto pro seu Feliciano que quer tanto.
Eu vou prestar a escola de Viena.
One of them leaves the house, comes back pregnant. The father really throws her away from home and lies to the one that stays that she never came back. So it's really about these two sisters. They were very close, who spent most of their lives looking for each other, thinking that they had been abandoned by one another.
Não ia dar certo não com EURÍDICE. Voltei! Papai, eu cometi um erro.
Que é isso?
Cadê EURÍDICE? Eu quero falar com a minha irmã.
Lá na Europa, na Áustria. Entrou na escola com que sempre sonhou.
You know, I think every film is difficult to get made, but at the same time, it's such a blessing. You know, like just the possibility of making a film for me. It's something that I will never take for granted. So it was complicated as any movie, but at the same time, there was something about. I think it was a book and it was a story that it was so close to me, and I think it was not really, you know, every movie I feel like there's going to be a moment of crisis, you know, either it's in the development, either it's when you're shooting that things go really well, really badly, you know, there's a problem, or when you're editing, or at the final edit. But, you know, in this film, there was something quite harmonious about it that I don't really remember the bad moments. I think it's also, you know, you grow older and you fight. Like, you know, I had this tendency of in every film to have a fight with someone, or, you know, to find a place of, you know, friction. And I think on this film there was something which was quite harmonic, and I think it was hard as any other film, but it was not particularly difficult.
Já não és minha filha.
Eu não tenho pra onde ir. Eu não tenho pra onde ir!
Sais pelas traseiras.
Tô grávida.
O doutor falou que você não estava muito feliz com a notícia, não.
What motivates me to work as a filmmaker, I think, is to change the world a bit. You know, I think literally, or at least, you know, to cause some confusion that would impact on change, or, you know. But I think it's the fact of actually, yes, in one hand, I think it's really about celebrating characters that I feel that are not celebrated enough in real life.
Não esquece essa tua irmã. Vai cuidar do teu filho, que precisa muito mais de ti.
Fica pensando o dia inteiro na mulher que morreu.
Qual é o problema?
Certeza que ela não embarcou pro Rio?
Se ela estivesse aqui no Rio, certamente a gente teria se encontrado, Sr. Macedo.
It's really about, you know, creating an impact and somehow changing the world. I mean, coming from a country where, or coming from a context, you know, that cinema is not only entertainment, but it's also, you know, when you said if it was difficult to make the film, it's always a big gesture to make a film, you know. And I think that when you think of it, I think it's really important that that gesture be a relevant gesture, you know, that it's not just another movie. I think making films too, it's also, in the age where we're living, it's such an ecological disaster to make a film, you know. It takes so much that I also think you need to think twice before you do it. But I think that really what motivates me is, since I was very little, I think it's the impact that the films had on me, and you know, and also ways of reimagining the world. I think that with film we can create new worlds, and also I think it's also a possibility of reimagining the world as we know it. They're gonna sound really mad, you know, but for example, I think the first film that I really loved is called Saturday Night Fever, you know, which is a film that really like made me want to dance. And then there are films like, there's a German film that I really love called Angst essen Sie auf, like Ali Fear It's the Soul, which is a film that's really touched me. And then there are films I remember that the second film I've seen in my life was the I don't know how it is in English. I think it's the Chocolate Factory or something like that. So I'm very interested in a very diverse palette of films. But I think the other film that I really, really adore, it's an Italian film called Red Desert that I think is from '65 from Antonioni, which is really, really beautiful. So they're very different films that I'm putting on the table here, but I think all the films that I'm talking about, they somehow had an effect on me which was not an intellectual effect, or it was not the cerebral, but something very physical and very... there's a film that I remember very clearly when I saw it the first time. It was a film called Fame. It's the story of a music school in New York in the 1970s, and they had a soundtrack by Donna Summer. So I don't know, there's something about the sadness and the beauty of certain characters I remember, but also for me film has a lot to do with dancing and with joy and with energy, so that's really what comes to mind.
Você não sabe a falta que você me faz. Queria poder voltar no tempo